guys, Shadow the Oblivious here, and it's great to be back to, making more quality content for you guys. Now, I know a lot of you were probably wondering what the hell happened over the course of pretty much almost all of 2017 last year. Well, to basically be, as transparent as I can with my audience, I took a much needed hiatus because 2017 was a pretty fucked year for me. I'm serious, guys. It royally sucked. I had one thing after another go wrong in my personal life, in my financial situations, in my, employment situations and everything. So I don't want to go into like full detail because I don't really like talking about it. But to be as real as I possibly can with you guys about it, I had a lot of shit just really snowball, drive me into a state of depression to the point where I was just a zombie going through the motions. Almost all of last year, I was insanely busy with work. It sucked. They had me on the worst shifts at my main job. I had lost my part-time, once a week job friggin' at the bar, which really sucked, and I was miserable. Let's fucking put it that way. I was fucking miserable. But I've gotten through all that. I've picked myself up, got back on the fucking horse. Things are evening out now. And I'm getting back to basics and back to some form of normalcy. And I'm not just miserable all the time. Plus, now I'm pretty much full-time day shift, so I'm not like fucking working late, miserable hours of the day and just coming home and flopping in my bed going, fuck my life, But, anyways, to get on to the main point of this video, these are my plans for this year since this comeback, and my plans for the future. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into that. So, okay. I made a handy-dandy little, bullet point list here on my clipboard to, keep me on task and, make sure that I touch base on all my, little plans and ideas going forward. So first off, I wanted to touch base on the fact that I'm planning to do some more comedic skits, just stupid shit between me and LTG and the newest member of the Shadow the Oblivious team, my new cameraman, Willie. You will see him maybe in some later productions, but he is the main cameraman that helped out with filming my comeback video. And that was basically the efforts of him filming, me and LTG acting, setting up the props with this bad boy here, my shelf that, I had to, reinforce it and all this other stuff. It was shot in a way so that nobody got really hurt. It was all just, a whole bunch of hoopla. And hell, it was a hoot and a holler, and I had a hell of a time fucking making it. It was fun as fuck. And honestly, it's gotten a lot of positive feedback, and I really enjoy that. It's not exactly everything I had hoped, but for the most part, it turned out really fucking well. The other help that I had on it was Chris Hernandez of the Georges. He had provided the the rumble effect and the photoshopping layover of what used to be on the top shelf and everything. So yeah, I had completely removed that because I have a couple items on there that I just really didn't want to get, damaged or whatever during the whole process, and we tried to work as best as we could to create a decent effect, and what we wound up with was the best we could do. And let me also state that there was practically little to no budget to this production, but I am really impressed with how it turned out. But anyways, getting back to the plans for more comedic skits. I plan to do just, some more funny, stupid shit between me, my roommate LTG, and, possibly even getting the dog involved, although I will make sure that there's nothing dangerous for her because that dog is my world. I love the shit out of her. She is such a tiny little sweetheart and just absolutely adorable. I thought I would never in my life have that much love for a tiny little, yap lap dog. But the minute I got her, it was, love at first sight. Because she's so fucking adorable. And she's so sweet. But yeah, I want to try new and more, kind of offbeat, kind of just, silly, stupid shit for shits and giggles. Just comedy for the sake of comedy. Okay. Next, I wanted to basically mention that because I'm just getting back to the whole YouTube rigmarole, and then there's this shit with the adpocalypse, the shit with fucking Logan Paul fucking shit up for people, and then now YouTube partner program putting much stricter guidelines out there, which that doesn't fucking affect me in the fucking least because I never fucking monetized in the goddamn first place. It doesn't fucking matter. And even if I did, I would probably be making a whopping, $250 a month. Woo! Big fucking whoopee. Big fucking deal. Get over it. Just a bunch of butthurt babies bitching and e-begging. Because, blah, 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 it's gonna take my precious YouTube money away. Well, maybe your content didn't deserve that ad revenue in the fucking first place, and that's why this guideline is kind of a good thing to make that kind of cancerous crap or possibly very offensive, very racist, very, even possibly, terroristic fucking content with ad revenue, or people, fucking uploading fucking movies and shit and breaking copyright, law and shit like that, and just, it makes that go away. Now, I'm not saying that I entirely agree with this whole fucking thing and the new guidelines and stipulations, but if they, kind of tweak it here and there, hopefully, it will be a good thing. But moving on from that, I wanted to touch base on the fact that just because I'm getting, just getting back to content creation and trying to have fun with it and not trying to burn out again and just wind up a miserable sad sack, I wanted to touch base and basically say there's going to be a lot more higher quality to my content moving forward, but a lot less frequent uploads. But my next bullet point here on my little handy-dandy listeroni is that in order to, break up the time between uploads, being less frequent and shit like that, and me trying to actually put a little bit more love and a lot more, fun and, just having a good time with making my content, I'm going to try and do some more, live streams via, my PS4 or via, Google Hangouts, and maybe do some audience interaction, Q&A kind of shit, maybe have some guests here and there and shit like that. Or maybe even do, live stream kind of interview kind of deals, whatever. I want to give back to my fan base, my pals, a bit more these days now that I'm, getting a fresh start and getting back to brass tack. Another thing that I'm going to be doing here is I am going to be getting back to my backlog of footage from 2016 and up into 2017, where I just, I had shit recorded and it just sat and rotted on my fucking SD card. Honestly, I just, I kept getting sidetracked by other shit, and I could never get to fucking getting down to brass tacks and fucking putting that shit together and, putting some love and work into creating content out of that. Mainly in my backlog, I want to get to a lot of the footage that came from when I went to FanimeCon in 2016, and I had a fucking blasty blast at that convention. It was incredible. It was pretty fucking awesome. Met some nice fucking people. I didn't get a whole shitload of footage because I was mostly, roaming the merch floor and the artist alley and fucking just checking out all this fucking con had to offer. And unfortunately, I also didn't get to go to any fucking panels because there were time constraints with, other things that I wanted to go and see and other events. And I was like, well, fuck, this panel's this time, but this little event is fucking conflict of schedules. I hate you. Fuck my life. Just that kind of shit. But honestly, I did get a good amount of footage at the actual convention and other, areas around and venues within the convention. I also did record a couple of things with my best friend since high school, my partner in crime. He goes by Mr. Seven Deadly Sins on YouTube. Although he does not produce content himself, he did feature in, my content, which will hopefully, over the next, coming however long it takes me to, put the tender love and care into putting that together, hopefully that will be featured. And one of the things that I did was, this is before Late Night Munchies evolved into basically a cooking show like it is now. I'm going to eventually separate this former style of how Late Night Munchies was into a whole new separate segment where if I'm going to like try out new candy or try out new beverages or, you know, try, you know, just certain stuff, I'm going to make a whole new segment around that called Oblivious Try. But during the course of that filming with Mr. Seven Deadly Sins on this episode of Late Night Munchies Fanimacon Edition, it was basically kind of, sort of, the way we did it was kind of, sort of, in a way, a little bit of tribute and homage to the late and great Justin Carmichael, aka Jewario, and his work and series that he did, I Like Candy, where he tried just all these different kinds of like candies and stuff like that, because in the video we were trying all these different kinds of Japanese confections and, you know, candies and stuff exclusive from the motherland of Japan that we picked up at Ninja Market in San Jose, which is an import Japanese supermarket. And we were, you know, just doing taste tests of all these different like candies and confections and whatnot, and seeing what we liked, what we didn't like, what was interesting, what was, you know, what was bizarre but good, you know, shit like that. Anyways, moving forward on to the next little bullet point on my fucking list here. I'm also going to try and start working in reviews of like either retro technology that I pick something up of, or new technology, or, you know, budget tech, or even games, you know, because there's some games that I have just recently in the past year I fell in love with, and there's like certain products that I've just like really fell in love with. One of the first things that I'm going to do with this whole review idea is I recently picked up a new wired 360 and Windows, you know, gaming controller for gaming on PC and stuff that I really liked, and it's a very nice piece of budget hardware. So look forward to that coming up in the near future. Next, and last on my plans just for this year, more new episodes of series that I do, such as Late Night Munchies and 30-second reviews. Speaking of 30-second reviews, I actually have some raw clip footage and voiceover audio, because I had tried to at one point make a 5th episode of the show, and I was at the time seeking help from somebody who had just way too much on his fucking plate. So that kind of just fell into the cracks and fell, you know, I still have everything. I just need to get some minor effects done, get some very short gameplay footage done, and basically cram it all together and render it, and then bada boom, there we go. But I would like to get some more of those going. Let's see. Well, now I've moved on to future plans. These are things that, you know, as time goes on and as I get bigger and better, you know, technology and software along the way and everything, I want to create, you know, possibly a few new series, maybe like 1 or 2, and probably, you know, just try to expand and, you know, test the waters and try something new and different. One of the series ideas that I have in the works, once, you know, some new gear is acquired for it, is I want to do a segment called Thrift Sanity. Now basically, in it would basically be me going out hunting and thrifting, whether it be for games, nerdy nostalgic shit, toys, movies, what the fuck ever. Just going out and trying to find the best deals and score some really awesome fucking, you know, nostalgic merch. Hunting and picking out at thrift stores or antique shops and shit like that. And they wouldn't be necessarily long episodes. I would mostly just, you know, try to keep them to a short, you know, 15-minute maximum range, you know, something like that. But that's one of the ideas that I have in the pipeline, and some of the, you know, gear that I will need for it is, of course, either some decent quality spy glasses, which basically, you know, record high definition video and audio, and they're just, you know, like either sunglasses or glasses or whatever. Or if I can find a decent deal on one, it basically, the design and look of it looks like a fucking car fob, and you can place it on the bill of your fucking hat, and it's basically, it's a spy cam, like, you know, but it looks like just, you know, like a car fob or whatever, and I would use that to get, you know, some point of view footage, hunting and picking, and shit like that. Yeah, anyways, moving forward, I am currently in the process of researching the simplest, you know, feasible ways to put out some Let's Plays that I would like to fucking do, and basically that means the return of a series that I just left in the dust after, you know, the one shot or whatever. I tested the waters, and back then I just didn't have much decent technology. Let's face it, my camera back then was a fucking potato. I didn't have capture software. It sucked. It was ass. But basically, I'm researching into, you know, software and programs and getting, again, a little bit more, you know, gear for this, but I want to do some Let's Plays, especially starting off with a game that I just recently got a clean and clear, safe fucking download of, and that is another Metroid 2 remake, AM2R. Now, it's not the latest version, but it is a clean and clear download of the original version that launched before Nintendo did the whole DMCA and cease and desist in favor of protecting their IP and blah, putting out their own 3DS in-house remake in fuck ugly 2.5D, in my opinion, with hard mode locked behind an amiibo that, you know, because of scalpers and shit, is pretty much nigh impossible to fucking get. Yeah. Fucking God. But honestly, now that I'm done shitting on their own remake that they did, it did have a few things going for it, like a melee strike back, you know, counter move. for, you know, certain shit in the game. But other than that, the graphical output and the way it looked to me, it looked very muddy and it looked very ugly. It just did not look pretty to me. Okay, moving on to the next bullet point on my list. I also want to try and possibly branch out and reach out to a lot of my other fellow, you know, compatriots in the community and possibly do some collaborative works. I already had done at one point with Yesei Asha a little collaborative work, which unfortunately is no longer there because he completely got rid of all of the content on his channel, and that is very saddening to me. I went to his channel only to discover that there's absolutely no content anymore. But as of recent, I've realized that he is actually working in collaborative works with Rebel Gaming Club. Pretty fucking awesome channel. Deserves your fucking subscribership. Deserves all the fucking watch time that they have gotten because their fucking shit is awesome and they actually put fucking work into it and fucking love into it like I try to in all of my content. They actually try to make something worth watching. And it's just, they have fucking fun with it. And I am a big supporter of RGC. And I love their fucking worst pickup video ever! That is fucking awesome. And honestly, I may actually throw my hat into the work and maybe friggin', you know, try and collab with them a little bit. You know, you never know. It hurts to, you never know what the fuck could go, you know, on. It never hurts to fucking try. And I fucking tongue-tied myself. Yeah, go ahead, fucking sue me. I don't care. Alrighty. Now that is checked off the fucking agenda. Yeah, I'd like to try and branch out and reach out and do some more collaborative works. Next thing I plan to do in the near future, because everything in here in the nerd lair has been going through a transitional phase, I have been rearranging and I guess you could say renovating my my game room / bedroom. The nerd lair has been going through some fucking changes for the future. And I'm liking so far what I've done with the place. I still have a lot of work to do. This chair, in fact, that I am sitting in will eventually be no more. It will be gone. I am getting the fuck rid of this fucking chair. And the reason why is because I'm getting a 2-seater fucking couch in here so that I can actually have somebody else just sit down and chillax and play games up here with me without having to like sit on a fucking beanbag or the floor or some fucking shit. But yeah, I'm getting a fucking couch in here, getting rid of this fucking chair. I'm also fixing this shelf off camera up over here, and I'm actually going to be putting that back downstairs in the rest of Casa de Shadow and getting a complete replacement shelf that will not be over there in that corner. This refrigerator here next to me and this shit will be moved over to that corner, and this shelf will actually be going back to its original location when I first started out, decorating my room and everything. This will move, and that new shelf that I get to replace this one over here off camera will be going right here, a little further out, so that, the couch fits just like right in between here. And yeah, but before I get far too fucking long-winded, you have stuck here probably like, come on, get on with it. For fuck's sake, get on with it. I plan to do, once I have all that shit in place and done over the next few months, or however long it fucking takes, I plan to do a full-scale, not only just tour of my game room setup in my bedroom, the nerd lair, but the entire downstairs section of the house with just, a nice bunch of, panning shots on shelves, a little, bit of history between, certain items that I choose to like pull out and stuff like that. Just a real nice in-depth tour of, Casa de Shadow, my humble abode. Let's see. Got that. I plan along the way to possibly do some interviews with shop owners, other gamers, and collectors, shit like that. And finally, last but not least, shop tours. I want to start doing like tours of some of these places that I go, like some mom and pop game shops and or, thrift stores or antique shops that I go to, and I totally just fucking sprayed it right there. You want the news, not the weather. I get that. I am so sorry. Say it, don't spray it, Shadow. Jesus fucking Christ. But, anyways, that is the entire bullet point list. Done. Fucking done with that. So, those are my future plans, including my plans for just this year, as well as down the road as more, things become available and more opportunities present themselves, and what have you. But I appreciate the fact that you stuck around through all my rambling and fumbling and tongue-tying and giving you the weather when you wanted the news. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you later on, hopefully. And as always, nerds, nerdettes, gamers, and weirdos of the web, game the fuck on and party!